courses back-to-back. That is 1 in 36 trillion odds to be able to do that. To have back-to-back. And he managed to do it not on a par 3, but on 2 par 4s.
If I want to burn up 1 in 36 trillion odds, it either needs to be the lottery or she needs to be really, 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 really good looking. But because that'd probably be my. But 2 back-to-back hole-in-ones on par 4s makes me wonder what the length of the course was in those particular holes, and I got a lot of questions.
Well,
as a golfer, I've got lots of questions when you have back-to-back hole-in-ones on par 4s.
Jack Weeby is the kid's name. Apparently, he can drive too.
You think?
Hits 300 plus. I think we have to kind of put that in a calculation. And they were like, it's like when it goes dogwood right or dogwood left, so you can't even see the hole. That's what it was too. So he hits it basically blind.
It's dog leg right, not dogwood. But
what did I said? Dog leg right. I said dog leg left and dog leg right. Yeah. But either way, you can't see the hole, and he hits 2 hole-in-ones back to back.
Well, good for him. I hope he's in a tournament, didn't waste it on a meaningless round.
No, I think it was just
and won $5 off his buddies or something.
I think it was just a round with buddies, but back to back. So an impressive feat for.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're going to hear from Dave Van Horn a little later on today. He spoke with the media. Mason Molina gets the start for the Arkansas Razorbacks. I say 2 o'clock. I don't think the game is going to have first pitch at 2 o'clock based on the weather right now. Now, it's pretty easy to just get on your Apple app and see what the weather looks like when it has rain basically up to 6 o'clock, which is not encouraging. I hope that they're wrong. I hope that the weathermen that have been telling us that the rain and weather woman that it's been rain is wrong, but I think that they end up going to be –
Well, again, I use the Apple app like you. I've got the other one, but 80% chance of rain all day, and now the amount of rain has decreased. Got rain this morning. We're here in Fayetteville. It's not what I would call raining now, but, it's been drizzling a little bit this morning. Rain should end, if this is accurate, between 10 and 11, maybe a brief shower from noon to 1, and then there is not much after this afternoon. So what is on here this morning is far more encouraging than what was forecasted a day ago, where it was over 2 inches of rain today forecasted in the models. So if this is true, we'll be good tomorrow. If there's rain, it's all going to be early in the morning between about 7 and 10. Sunday, little less promising. Rain, but not a lot, but it's all in the middle of the afternoon. And then Monday, if necessary, it would be up in the day. So right now, this forecast looks a lot better than it did a day ago, Ty.
Well, I at least it's a little better, but it still looks like it's going to rain. So
it's all going to rain early is my point, and there's no rain after 2 o'clock. So field drains. I think you can play baseball today.
Well, we'll see.
A day ago, it didn't look as promising. If this is right, I don't know what to believe anymore when it comes to weather forecasts. But that's what the one on my phone says. So anyway, all right, we're at the Stadium Shop. Look for the ESPN Arkansas 99.5 vehicle out front, so come by and see us. We're steps away from Baum-Walker Stadium, and we're steps away in the back of the store from their 75% off clearance section. Omaha's gear all throughout the store, so come and see us here at the Stadium Shop and get your baseball regional gear right here with us this morning. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by our friends at Bet Saracen. If you haven't figured it all out for this weekend, you're looking for a place to get the action, you can find it at Bet Saracen. They've got stuff just for the Fayetteville Regional. They've got, of course, I guess a week from yesterday will be the start of the NBA Finals. There's College World Series for the ladies and softball all there, and you can find the Arkansas stuff where Arkansas is minus 800 against the Red Hawks of SEMO today. It's all online, betsaracen.com. Come by and see us this morning. We're at the Stadium Shop next door to Baum-Walker Stadium.
As we get ready for the Fayetteville Regional.
ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app is live at the 2024 Fayetteville Regional. Exclusive coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. Arvest Bank. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender member FDIC. And by Camping World. Camping World in Poto and Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com. The road to Omaha starts now.
Hall of the Omahawks. Yes, sir. Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Razorback!
Get 1.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on a GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Get 1.9% financing and $3,250 in purchase allowance when you trade an eligible vehicle. See the new GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast, but the clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you. You call Medley Equipment Company. They need a technician, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the best, with pay raises all along. Because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Hi, Jim Cash, fourth-generation jeweler and owner of the Diamond Center. I'm excited to announce our second annual Kiss and Tell event, and we would love to see you. I will be in store for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, June 7th and 8th, to negotiate every piece of jewelry. This event is special because this is the best pricing of the year and all still backed by our free lifetime warranty. Come and make me an offer during these 2 days only for our Kiss and Tell event here at the Diamond Center. Visit us before for more details. Again, those dates are Friday and Saturday, June 7th and 8th at the Diamond Center, a legacy of love.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. We work to design an insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter Insurance ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 5 out of the last 6 years by J.D. Power. Satisfied customers and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And I'm starting to like you.
You're the one. The set, the 3-1. Swung on, hit in the air, deep by Hudson White to left field. There it goes, way out of here. Hudson White, second of the season.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, Even, Ruskin, and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
And we welcome you back into a Fastball Friday edition of the Morning Rush, live from the Stadium Shop on Razorback. I figured that when I mentioned Mason Molina is going to start today, it would generate some conversation via the McClarty-Daniel hotline, both positive and negative. Robert and Conway does not like it, and I'm going to share why he doesn't like it and hear why Dave, maybe kind of what he alluded to yesterday, coming up in just a sec.
All right, we'll do that again live from the Stadium Shop next door to Baumwalker Stadium. Rick B. is already here this morning. He's come by, brought us a biscuit. We appreciate that. Come in and check out the selection and visit with us here this morning. Hey, if fishing is on your agenda, I know some of you are probably headed to the water, maybe even already on the water this morning. Take the famous Yum Dinger along. It's made by Pradco. They've got plants here in Arkansas. They make them by the truckloads in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes. They're perfect for largemouth bass that have come off the spawn. And Bruce always says if you're working on that wacky rigging, with that 5-inch model, it can't be beat for those spawning bass. Find the Yum Dinger at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It is the Yum Dinger.
So Dave, in his press conference yesterday, did not reveal initially who was officially going to start. He did have some fun, though.
Oh, we got a lot of guys who can throw for us. A couple of them are left-handed.
Mentioning Hagen Smith and Mason Molina. He elects to go with the Texas Tech transfer, who has postseason experience as a Red Raider before and had a solid outing last time he pitched actually in postseason. Now, Robert and Conway is not a fan of this decision. He texted in on the McClarty-Daniel hotline saying, what if he pitches poorly and somehow they lose to SEMO? Then you obviously run Smith out Saturday, but the problem comes in the Monday's game. You can't really use Smith on Monday if he pitches Saturday, but you could for a few innings if he pitches Friday afternoon.
Well, what if he goes out and he throws 7 innings and he's wonderful? You know, I don't think he's going to do 7, but what if he gives you 5 good innings today? I mean, the bullpen's been good. You got Fouch that's been solid. You've got a plan in a regional, you know, to play at least 3 games, and I think you got to have a plan for 4. So I think that's exactly what Dave's doing. And again, me and you were talking about this on the air and off the air yesterday. If you're the number 5 seed in the country and you're having conversations, I mean, I ask you this, you know, expecting the answer, and I've had this conversation with buddies. Who's the number 2 pitcher on this team right now? You get a variety of answers, or the hesitation and pause, and the fact that you don't have a solid answer is a little bit concerning to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're giving Mason, who's a veteran, a chance to re-earn that role. I didn't know if Dave and Matt Hobbs were going to elect to keep him in the bullpen or put him back in the starting rotation. He's back in the starting rotation after, again, like his last couple performances. You think about what he's done. He's retired 15 of his last 16 batters. So he's been on a roll lately. Now, there have been situations that, again, sometimes you're better out of the pen than you're started, but Dave Van Horn and Matt Hobbs have enough confidence in him to put him back in the starting rotation. Now, who takes it from there will obviously depend on if they're up. It'll probably go to Fouch, then Gackle, who he also mentioned Fouch is not just going to be a one-game guy from here on out. He feels confident. Dave was talking yesterday. He feels confident they can use him for other games in not just this weekend, but other weekends as well. So there's other factors you have to think about, that guys that they've tried to be light on in the regular season, maybe just pitching one time a weekend, they're going to stretch them out a little bit more too.
You got, you know, it's all about the plan. And if you win these first 2 games, and, that's what you're planning for, you're in the catbird seat. Someone else is going to be thin on pitching when they have to beat you twice. And, I think Dave has set up the right plan here. I was never in favor of pitching Hagen Smith in the 1-4 game. Never.
What I think I said in regards to that, and we'll take your calls on the McCarty Daniel hotline coming up in just a sec, is I thought that he would elect to go with Hagen Smith on Friday, but I was hoping he'd pitch him off. He's pitched him off, and I don't know if that's more confidence in Mason Molina or if that's more about thinking it's just a better matchup. He got asked a couple times. It was funny. I was listening to Tom asking these questions. He just wanted some insight so he could get some stuff for a column or a story, and Dave just didn't want to elaborate because the other teams, Kansas State, Louisiana Tech, and SEMO hadn't practiced yet, and they didn't want to give them an added advantage, an added value with knowing who exactly they were going to pitch against, because we know it's one thing to go up against as a batting order against Hagen Smith. It's another thing to go up a batting order against Mason Molina.
Yeah, he was pretty tight-lipped. I listened. It's about 18 minutes with the players in Van Horn yesterday, and it's on the Hit That Line Now app. Just click on the YouTube button there at the bottom. You'll find it down there. It's 3rd or 4th down, and then you can find it at hitthatline.com. Bob and Tom both stayed after him on this pitching stuff, and because he didn't want to give up any information. That was pretty clear from the get-go in that press conference.
And this is a fair text from Caleb, who's living in eastern Arkansas in Batesville this morning. He's saying we as a fan base or as the Morning Rush know who the second best pitcher is, but Dave feels like he always does, and he loves Molina today. And SEMO hasn't seen pitchers with what Arkansas has.
The other thing we learned was Brady Teigert's not on the 27-man roster, and doesn't sound like that. He didn't elaborate. He said it's not a ligament, but there's something with the shoulder, and he didn't really – you could tell he really didn't want to answer the question, but you can take Brady Teigert out of any equation you got for this weekend.
Yeah, and I have a sinking feeling we might not see Brady the rest of postseason. I hope I'm wrong about that. I've said several times on this program I think he's not healthy, and this is just another indication. I don't think he's been healthy for several weeks, if not the entire season.
Confirmation yesterday.
Yeah, and it's discouraging because this is going to be Brady's final season with the Arkansas Razorbacks, and it's not how at least he wants to close out a Fayetteville Regional where he won't get to participate.
Nope, I agree. And but when you're thinking about what you can do, Brady's not going to be part of that. Hey, APAC Arcola has immediate openings right here in Northwest Arkansas. Also over in North Central Arkansas, if you're in the Northwest Arkansas area, Boone, Baxter, Marion County, and here in our backyard, Benton and Washington counties. Licensed CDL drivers, electricians, diesel mechanics, variety of positions with great pay, a great benefits package, and they can get you started right away. Particularly looking for licensed CDL drivers to help deliver product to the job sites. Go to jobs.crh.com and find out more. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer. Hey, we're live at the Stadium Shop. Come get your Omaha's gear. Come get your Hagen Smith shirt, tie. It's all right here at the Stadium Shop next door to Baum Walker.
All right, Chuck Barrett's going to join us when we return on the Morning Rush.
Era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, this is Landon Jackson, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news about our first ever trade-in acquisition event. We need your trade, so now through Memorial Day, get your state sales tax paid when you trade for any one of our road-ready certified vehicles. That's right, state sales tax paid when you trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Well, I also think what Chuck's getting at nonchalantly is that, hey, we need to be there next year in Sandestin. I think
I'm trying to get you a trip, Ty.
I think that's what he's driving
Trying to
at,
take
Tommy,
care of
which I'll happily in the middle of right before.
I understand. I very much understand the why. Frankly, the SEC spring meetings bring a lot more news than SEC Media Days.
And we welcome you back to a Fastball Friday live at the Stadium Shop. We're legitimately about 200 yards away from Baum-Walker Stadium. And if you need something for later on, not just this weekend, this summer, you just need some new Razorback gear. This is the number one place to get it. Robert, Elizabeth, Matt, they have everything you want to need. We'll be telling you a little more about that coming up in just a bit. We were just playing this clip from Dave Van Horn, just kind of joking about who was starting today. Mason Molina, if you have not heard, is getting the Friday start, the opening game against SEMO, and we'll react to that. We've got some calls here on the McCarty-Daniel hotline that we're going to take with Chuck momentarily here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, if you're looking for a place to watch the game today in Fort Smith, you could go to TGI Fridays. They'll have happy hour from 3 to 6, so if the game goes as scheduled, you can watch a lot of it there. They'll have half-price drinks, $5 appetizers, so a great way to maybe have a late lunch or an early dinner and watch baseball is going to be at TGI Fridays. 3 to 6, and then again 9 to close. They do that every Monday through Friday at TGI Fridays, happy hour twice daily. Half-price drinks, $5 appetizers. TGI Fridays, 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Chuck, we got postseason baseball this weekend at Baum-Walker. I know that's it's pretty customary nowadays, but it wasn't always this way.
Nothing like it, man. It's great. I know people are excited. Hey, if you got callers, go to them. They're better than me. But I know people are excited about this, and I am too.
I know Sterling's excited. He's up first. Sterling, what's going on this morning?
Man, this is Friday. Friday was Christmas Day. Every time I start opening region and on the pitching off and the pitching staff, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. You know, when you make a plan for your day, and I heard you talk about Texas talking about what if Medina struggles, and then if you pitch Peyton today, then you can have them for Monday. Listen, when I get up and get ready to go to work, I plan on what's recently but might happen. I don't plan on my transmission going out on the way. So, I mean, recently, Medina all pitched very well today. We all scored enough runs. We should get about a day, and you have your big horse for the Catbirds to beat game tomorrow. And if something bad does happen, you got your big horse for the elimination game tomorrow. So, I mean, in a 14-dollar elimination tournament, I see nothing wrong with it. Even if you always put your ace on that second game, because it's going to be a Catbirds game, or you're playing for your life game. So, I see no problem with it. Even if we were playing a major team, I would be okay with it. This morning, Chuck, when you started this stuff in 92, and I could only follow it in the papers. And that was a rough way to go for a kid to follow the tournament. Because you either had to run to somebody's house, they had ESPN, they had that big old satellite dish, or you just had to wait until you got to the Cosmo Shoes to watch any college basketball. And then when you came along in 92, I could follow it on the radio. Old boy down here in Conway used to put on 92.7. And so, for me, baseball is just like basketball and football. It's no different. It's no different for me. It's the same fandom as it is for the other two. And I've been seeing this program to where we host all the time. And I used to be able to go to all the regional games. When we hosted like in 99, and all those old bleachers, when we played Southwest Missouri State, and they broke my heart that day. You know, that's what's his name.
Sapicki. Matt Sapicki. Matt Sapicki.
Yeah.
He's right up there with Don Dinkinger with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is. And I could just drive up and get a ticket. You know, we start off with Delaware that night before, and I remember driving up, and you could see the stands filled up when you pulling up, and it's just amazing what this program has come, and that's why Dave Van Horn, even though I question him just like I would any other manager, but Dave Van Horn, to me, he deserves a statue just like the rest of them, because in my mind, he did everything he could to get us in that championship. I know I'm going long, and I'm going to get off here. Eddie, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to push me over the edge.
Calling him out.
I'm waiting on you.
Eddie's
come on, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie's been up early and at him this morning. Well, That's a memory or two right there, Chuck, that you could probably just speak better than I could. Some of this bringing down. You think about how college baseball has changed, and I know today's not technically on an actual cable channel, but just how things have changed in 20-plus years, pretty remarkable.
Well, now when Phil screws up a call, everybody can watch it and realize that, he didn't know what he was talking about. I used to think about that, when nobody could see the game, if you said foul ball off to the left side and it was really off to the right, well, nobody knew any different. If you got a little behind on a play, you'd catch up. Nobody knew any different. Now it's now the pressure's on, man. I mean, everything's visual. I'm joking, but everything is different now, and it's it's a lot more fun. I can remember the first time LSU came to George Cofield, and we might have had 1,000 people the whole weekend. It was just pathetic. And you look at the way it is now, it's hard to imagine.
I was texting my my LSU friend yesterday, and I feel pretty confident in them coming out of Chapel Hill. He's a little worried about their pitching, which I know Clay was kind of talking about yesterday. But I think there's a lot of not only SEC teams that are hosting, like Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, A&M, and Georgia, but I feel pretty strongly about LSU and Mississippi State maybe coming out of their regionals too.
Well, I don't wish them any ill will, but I'm not going to be paying attention to them this weekend. I mean, I care about our regional. And, I hope LSU does well, and I got nothing against Mississippi State unless they're coming here. But, we'll see how it all plays out. Arkansas has got to find a way to win this ball game. And, if they do that, they're in a good position tomorrow night.
I listened to Dave yesterday. He talked, and the players talked for about 20-something minutes, and he kind of gave just an overarching view of this regional.
Excited to be hosting regional, very good field, teams that are very offensive, beat you in many different ways, so it should be real exciting. Exciting weekend, we're going to battle over weather tomorrow, and the same for everybody. So it never gets old. It never gets old being in the regional because you always have a chance. So looking forward to seeing our guys play and compete, and I'm sure the fans will show up in big numbers, and hopefully they'll enjoy it.
He kind of he talked about a few other things. Obviously, the pitching. We mentioned Tiger Tsunogo this weekend. Neither same as Cooper Dossett, not just this weekend, but the rest of postseason. But one of the things you brought up, Chuck, a week or so ago, I guess it was after Hooper, was the inflection level. Like Phil talked about on the broadcast, how Dave was out with the team abnormally long, and you could tell the intensity level kind of rose during the press conference a little bit. He was probably hacked off the way his team finished and played. It sure sounds like, based on what he said yesterday, they've had a good couple practices since they came back.
Well, sometimes you do need, as we talked about at the end of the regular season, you need a day or two to, just kind of recollect yourself, collect your thoughts and, prepare yourself mentally for what's ahead. And I think they know what's ahead of them. And I think Dave's message was, very clear that it's about to get real. I mean, whatever we've done so far has been great, but what matters most is what's ahead of us. And so there is a sense of urgency now. I mean, look, your season can end in one day. And, Sterling brought up that 99 regional. I mean, it ended in one day, and it was over. And it can happen really fast. Ask that softball team. It can happen in a hurry, so you better be ready, and I think they will be. And it sounds like the last couple of days have gone well. I'm glad he's pitching Molina. I'm just going to be honest. I'm glad he's pitching Molina in this ball game because I think you need somebody out there who's been there before.
Yeah, he was asked about, the switch being flipped for postseason, and I don't know how much of it was coach speak and how much you can really gauge, but when you know your team, and he noted a difference in what he has seen the last few days. So at least he wanted to lead us to believe he liked their mindset. He liked kind of where they were at. He said they were loose in practice. They've had 3 good workouts since they got back, and he was asked a lot yesterday about playing at home and the advantages here, but I think there is a difference in mindset you must carry once you cross that true postseason threshold into regional play.
Well, but I also think you have to keep sight of the fact that your objective is what it always is, and that's to win the next game, period, end of story. This weekend, I've always felt this way. This weekend scares me more than any other Because with the exception of Omaha, it's the only weekend that you play in this format. And even in Omaha, when you get to the championship series, it goes back to a series. Mm-hmm. You've played series every weekend. Your goal every weekend has been to win 2 of the 3 ball games. At the very least, that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to win the series. For the next 3 days, the format's totally different. And that's why I say it happens really fast. I mean, it can be over just like that if you're not ready on that day. You have a bad day, your season's over. In a series, you have a bad day, you come back and you play tomorrow, unless it's obviously the deciding game. So that's what's always, just as someone who's been around it a lot, always made me view this weekend as a wild card weekend where anything can happen. I guarantee you this. There's going to be 1 or 2 of these top 8 national seeds that are going to find themselves in a dogfight this weekend. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you there's going to be at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 that find themselves in dogfights this weekend. And you've just got to find a way to get out of this weekend. And then some normalcy to your routine comes back. You may have debates on who starts game 1 or game 2, but you're not talking about it from the perspective of you've got to stay in the winner's bracket. It's a whole different situation. So I think they're ready for it. These guys have been through it. It's not like it's going to be anything new.
Well, and historically speaking, not all 8 of the top seeds survive this weekend. You just don't want to be that 1 or 2
right.
teams.
Somebody's going to have to fight for their lives.
Right. Well, and the reality is history says 1 or 2 of the top 8 won't make it. Won't be around next weekend.
Not. They might not.
So
right.
you can't slip on that banana peel.
Yeah, like last year. And, Dave kind of spoke to, we put it at the top of our open, the idea that last year maybe helps out a little this year. I know you've got new players and stuff, but he said, I'm paraphrasing, I think he said it can't hurt. Because, Hagen Smith doesn't want to go out the way he did last year. I think he's talked about that. The guys that were on this team last season that lost at home in Baum-Walker Stadium in the regional to TCU, they don't want it to end like that. So I think that last year, while we don't want to necessarily relive it again, I think it's going to have more of a positive effect and maybe a negative effect on this year's team.
I think those are things you think about before and after the game. I don't believe in the game. For example, if Arkansas is behind 1-0 and Hagen Smith's going out there in the 4th inning, I don't think he's thinking in his mind, man, I don't want it to end like this. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to end just like it did the year before. You're so engrossed in what's going on out there. But I do think it's something that you think about when you reflect. I've never been a player preparing to play in a regional, so I don't know exactly what that's like. I don't know if it's something you think about beforehand or not. I would imagine it is. But I think once that game starts, you got to do whatever you got to do to win that game.
You mentioned players. So we heard from Hagen Smith, Peyton Stovall, and Kendall Diggs yesterday. I knew Hagen and Peyton were going to be up there. I still think that, again, Dave's trying to get Kendall going by either putting him in the leadoff spot, bringing him up to the podium. He knows he's going to need Kendall this postseason. In regards to kind of the player perspective, like you're getting at, this is what Peyton said on just kind of their days off and them kind of getting back into a rhythm.
I know having those 2 days off after the tournament, I was actually telling some of the guys in the locker room today, it feels like it's been 3 months since we played just because, you play so many games in baseball in a season and stuff. But it was nice to be able to kind of get those days off, and we spent a lot of quality time as teammates just off the field, and which is huge, and just trying to get to know each other even better than we already do. But I think we're all excited to play, and you have a long break like that, you want to get back out there. So we're looking forward to tomorrow.
So that's his vantage point. I wonder from Molina's perspective, who hasn't started, I guess, since May the 12th against Mississippi State, how itching he is to get back into starting. It's one thing to come out of the relief and out of the bullpen, which he's had 2 really, really good outings lately, but I wonder, because it seemed like Hagen was a little too amped up in Hoover. I wonder if that's going to play a factor with Mason Molina later on today.
Well, and you're at home, maybe a little more comfortable, but Chuck, you've spoke to the pressure of playing at home and getting tickets for family and dealing with all the things that come with a ticket that's in such high demand as the postseason ticket can be. And Dave spoke yesterday to you just don't want to let anybody down. And I think we overlook something that seems so simple or obvious, or that I think a lot of people think about in many walks of life. You just don't want to let the fans down, your teammates down, your family down, yourself down. And I think the pressure last week probably helps curb a little bit of that.
Well, I think we forget sometimes these are young people, and young people have a tendency to want to please older people. That's just kind of human nature. And all our players, men's, women's, pick your sport, they want to please people. They want to please those fans. They want to please you. If you're listening to this show right now, they want to please you. And whether you believe it or not, it hurts them when they don't. And I don't think people should lose sight of that.
Yeah. Any procrastinators on here? You a procrastinator?
Oh no, we're obviously a group of go-getters.
Yeah. Well, today is your last day to sign up and get your homestead tax credit. So if you've waited till the last minute, today is it. In Sebastian County, call Zach Johnson, the county assessor at 784-1516. That's 479-784-1516. You got to do it by the end of business today to get that $425 discount on your 2023 property taxes. It applies to your home and up to 1 acre of land, and today is the final day here on May 31st. You can go to sebastiancountyar.gov or again call 479-784-1516 for all you procrastinators, or as I've been called before, a procrastinator. So sometimes we wait too long to get things done.
Well, that'll happen.
Well,
That'll
hey,
happen.
If you have waited to the last minute to get your Omaha stuff or anything to wear to the game today, we are in the right spot for you.
I like that hoodie behind Ty there.
Yeah. We're like in a cocoon of gear.
Buy that for me, Ty? Buy that for me?
I got you, man. I'll expense it. Large. Got it.
Schmedium. Get him a schmedium. Hey, Robert Mann, his whole family's here with us this morning. We got people coming in the store getting ready. Robert, we were talking before the show and mentioned it early on. It used to be news when people camped out.
Mm-hmm.
The news would come out. Now it's so old hat, but these things are a big deal, and I know people are already coming in to get ready for the games this weekend.
Well, you're right. I mean, used to be when I'd drive by and see them camping out, I'd go, "Hey, this is news." It's not anymore. Everybody knows. Everybody camps out
news
now.
If they weren't.
Yeah, if they weren't camped out, we'd be talking about that. But yeah, it's an exciting time in Fayetteville.
You think about the last 6 of 7 years they have hosted. I think it's 5 of 6 they've been a national seed. And Tommy was kind of alluded to it earlier. What changes have you seen? I mean, Norman had a lot of success there. We know that. Dave had success here initially. Second year goes to Omaha. But these last specific 7 years, what kind of change have you seen with this baseball program?
It's a little more intense. The fan base has grown. I mean, it's like how many years now we had sellouts in baseball? I mean, I'm carrying more baseball merchandise than I've ever carried because the fans are demanding it. I mean, it's weird because baseball fans want it to say baseball. Razorback fans, they want to wear a shirt to a basketball game or a football game, and they don't want to be necessarily sports specific.
Yeah.
But baseball fans are different. They want it to say baseball. They want Ribby.
They want Ribby on the
Yeah,
front,
they want Ribby. They want the A. It's a different bunch of
I'm a
people.
sweater hog guy. That's mine. If I had to pick a logo.
That's the hog leaning on the A.
Yeah.
So you got this specific Hagen Smith shirt. You had a Hawaiian-looking T-shirt that
It's
has
over there beside the Hagen shirt.
I can't see it, but it's behind there.
It's got a Loy and Sousa, and
Yeah.
it says Hawaiian Hogs or something like that.
And then you got a Kendall Diggs shirt too,
Yep.
I think.
Mhm.
So
Got two Hagen shirts.
Got hog tunes. I mean, you're loaded up, man.
Yeah, the Hog Tunes just came in. That's new for us. We were out of space, and the gentleman that owns that and I have been talking for quite some time, just needing space to put it. And we've had that 75% off rack back there trying to get rid of some stuff, and it made room for me to bring in at least 3 Hog Tune shirts.
75% off. That's a lot of.
Yeah, we ain't making no money on that rack.
Yeah.
That's please take this.
That's where me and Ty always goes. Me and Chuck walk into the store. Where's the clearance rack?
Oh, Elizabeth, she walks into the store. Where's the clearance rack? That's her.
Well, I always get Robert. You gave me that one Hawaiian baseball shirt a year ago.
Tommy Bahama.
Yeah, the Tommy Bahama. And I was getting. I know that's a really popular brand this time. You guys were trying to start Hawaiian Sundays?
Yeah, there's a group of them down there at the ballpark that have been trying to pitch Hawaiian Shirt Sunday for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea. I think it's cool. If you look out in the hog pen and see people wearing Hawaiian shirts and the lays for the Hawaiian players, it's awesome.
You know, one thing, because if you've watched the games on TV at all, or you've been to games, you know this too, the beer hats for when the bases are loaded. A lot of people probably would, where do I go? I got to go to Amazon. Where do I find that? I was just looking behind the counter, behind Elizabeth. You've got a rack of them over here. So if somebody wants to have their beer hat,
or the
for when the hogs get the bases loaded, you've got those.
What's funny is, we stock those all year round now. That's something new, in the past few years. And what's great is when the freshmen are coming into town and they bring their parents and they don't live here, they go, "What's the deal with the beer hats?" Well, a buddy of mine heard me one day explain it like 3 times. I had to explain it 3 different times to somebody. He made up these cards of the story of the beer hat. So we've got a card back there we just hand out now that has the story of the beer
Full
hat.
explanation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks to Bobby Smiddle and some other people giving me information on how that came about.
All right, obviously we're open right now this morning, kind of some special hours. Going to be open throughout the game today.
yeah.
What are the hours for this weekend if people are, maybe not coming today but coming Saturday or Sunday?
Well, the latest we're going to open is 8 a.m. That'll be the latest. If I get here before 8 a.m., I'm going to open. If I'm here at 7, I'll open. And then we'll stay open until, the last game starts. So.
All right, so
we'll do whatever we need to do, I guess is the best way to put it.
And we hope the Hogs have won it on Sunday, and there's no need for a Monday game. That would mean things went really well if it plays out like we won.
Or we got rain.
That's possible too. So.
And if you need rain ponchos, we got those too.
All right. Well, hopefully the forecast, it looks like it has improved a little bit today. But if you need anything Razorback related, Omaha related, a hat, sunglasses, forget something at home.
I got tons of sunglasses.
You've got it all here, and don't forget Uncle Clarence in the back. He's 75% off. So
the Clarence rack.
The Clarence rack.
Yeah.
So, Clarence rack. All right, Stadium Shop. Shop on Razorback.com. What's that? Your ponchos? Yeah, Elizabeth.
One more
the boss
thing.
is saying
We're going to be parking cars too. Don't forget. So if you see me out in the parking lot, and I stop you and I ask you, are you shopping or parking? Just know we're trying to keep those people separated so they don't run into anybody.
So, or just say you're shopping and leave your car for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
right?
There's a tow company. They love the business.
Yeah. All right. So Stadium Shop, shop on Razorback.com. If you're not going to make it up, you can buy things online and get them sent right to your front door. So, all right, we'll visit later on in the show. Thanks for having us out this morning.
Well, thanks for being here.
All right, Robert Mann. He's done it a long time. Him and his family here. Chuck, you've been in here. Anything you could ever imagine with a Razorback on it, they got here at the Stadium Shop.
Oh, I know they do. They got good stuff in there. I'll tell you what they got. I got a big melon. I got a big head. They got hats for guys with big heads. That's why I love Robert Mann.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say about you. That guy's always had the big.
I got a big melon. I admit it. I do. They got big hats. It's my place.
Hey, Will's RV. They're just up the road from where we're at. Go up to the 412 exit, Springdale, get off, turn left, go 5 miles. Run right into them. If you've had damage to your RV in one of the recent storms, tree fell on it, limb fell on it, you got some body damage, need some paint, maybe you just need advice on what to do next, they're there for you at Wheels RV. Great service from Lee J. and Chris and their crew. Lifetime warranty on everything they sell. So if you need help with an RV and coming out of a storm situation, they can help you. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale.
All right, when we return, hour 2 coming up, let's talk some basketball.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always,
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all summer sports, from Major League Baseball, golf, to the NBA and NHL playoff stats. They've got all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Reed from Woodland. Read about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all summer sports, from Major League Baseball, golf, to the NBA and NHL playoff stats. They've got all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
And we welcome you into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush, live from the Stadium Shop. Already had a handful of Morning Rush listeners and Arkansas fans stop by this morning to get ready for the Fayetteville Regional that you just heard Dave Van Horn talking about. Now, we will talk more baseball momentarily with Scott Tabor, but I want to talk some basketball. You're playing in Madison Square Garden this year, at least reportedly you are. It's not official just yet. I'm going to trust John Rothstein's sources, though, on this. Playing the Michigan Wolverines up in the Northeast. Let's talk about that in just a sec.
All right, come by and see us here at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, next door to Baum-Walker Stadium. They're your Omaha's headquarters. Everything you need for the Fayetteville Regional. They got the T-shirts. They got the SEMO, La Tech, and Kansas State logo on there. It says the Road to Omaha, Arkansas across the front. They got a variety of colors. They got specialty shirts with Hagen Smith and Kendall Diggs, and they got one that combines the two Hawaiian players, and Aloy and Souza on one shirt.
Awesome.
So
Cool
check
shirt
that out. It's a really cool Hawaiian shirt, and it's only at the Stadium Shop. So come by and say hello this morning. All of our coverage of the Fayetteville Regional presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. By Arvest Bank, they're always ready to help. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And by Camping World, America's favorite brands. They'll get you into the perfect RV at Camping World. They're in Poto, Oklahoma, and Van Buren, Arkansas. And online at campingworld.com.
Chuck, I haven't been to Madison Square Garden in 20-something years. I remember I guess I was 8 years old when my dad took my brother and I around Thanksgiving, and it was, even then, one of the coolest sporting experiences of my entire life. And it sounds like Arkansas is going to be there in December.
Yeah, if the report's true, I have no reason to believe it's not. Arkansas will play Michigan on December 11th in Madison Square Garden. So that's exciting news. I mean, it's as Cal has said, that they plan to play in the biggest venues, and there is no more famous sporting venue than Madison Square Garden. So it's a historic building. And Arkansas has not played there in 27 years, I think.
Yeah, 97. I guess you actually, funny enough, played Michigan back then. This event typically, like I said, happens in September. It was a Tuesday night last year. They didn't officially announce it until, I think, August of 2023. So maybe we might have to wait on that. We'll have to wait and see until we get it officially. But there's also an interesting dynamic of Dusty May being the Michigan head coach, who was John L. Davis's former coach. And there was reports out there that he wanted to try and get John L. to follow him to Ann Arbor, and just wasn't able to make it work. He did get Vlad Gooden to come with him, or Golden, excuse me. But that is an also kind of an interesting tentacle, assuming this is true, guys.
It is, and I'm sure that they'll have, they'll be asked about that during the week. But yes, it's exciting on a lot of fronts, and the opportunity to go there and play is, that's a feather right there.
I won't say it's going to be as big a deal as like when Arkansas was scheduled to play Notre Dame and go there, but I think you're going to have a lot of Arkansas fans. I mean, it's direct flights out of XNA that'll get you to LaGuardia, and I think because of the building you're playing in, I think you're going to have a lot of Arkansas fans want to make that trip, particularly that time of the year. New York City, Christmas time, Rockefeller Plaza, all decorated up for the holidays. I think you're going to see a lot of Razorback fans try to make that trip.
That tree's something else, man. I remember just looking at it. It was one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen growing up as a kid. I was thinking about like you hadn't played Michigan a lot over the course of your basketball history, but the game I remember, it's more recent, is when you beat Trey Burke. And I know Bill Raftery was here because he had that famous call, boom, got it, and then the ball spun in and wrapped around and popped out. But that's a game that's kind of still stuck in my crawl back at Bud Walton Arena when you played those guys.
Well, we went to Ann Arbor, played up there in Ann Arbor. I remember that very well. And obviously, Arkansas and Michigan, you go back to the Nolan Richardson era. There was a tussle or two in that. And, when CBS got into college basketball, CBS's very first college basketball telecast was Arkansas versus Michigan from Barnhill Arena back in, I want to say, 81. It was the very first CBS college basketball telecast.
It's funny you mentioned the tussles because I remember Jalen Rose and I think one of the other, it might have been Jimmy Keene, they were talking about they kind of liked Todd Day and kind of the swagger that Arkansas team played in. Now, that wasn't the team they lost to in 95 in the NCAA tournament, but they kind of, not necessarily patented their Fab Five after that, but there was ties to Arkansas, just not just playing, but just kind of that style, that swagger of a sense.
Well, they were similar types, and they like to talk, and they were good players. And that was an era where players played in slacks as opposed to shorts. They all had the long shorts.
Yeah.
And so, there were some similarities there, I guess.
Yeah. Back to Cal, though, in this scheduling, I don't think this is the last kind of headline we're going to get. I think there's still more to come, and I'll be interested to see if and when they make an announcement or a determination on this San Diego event. I'm assuming that's
they're
coming off.
Yeah, it's official.
Is that
No,
official?
It's official.
Okay.
They're out.
I just assumed they weren't going to play in that deal. So
that was going to be a must homecoming anyway. I didn't ever think there was a chance they'd play in that. Here's the thing that I think's interesting. We've talked about the Dallas game. We talked about the home and home. We have always thought regionally, perhaps to our detriment. We've always thought regionally. When you think about who do I want to home and home with? Kansas. Who do I want to play in Dallas? Baylor. I want to play one of those Texas teams. We're playing Michigan in Madison Square Garden. John Calipari's Kentucky teams, when they were scheduling a big non-conference ball game, they went way beyond the regional. You go back to his time at Memphis. Made us mad when he said it, but he said, I don't want to schedule regionally. I want to schedule nationally. And that's what he did. Now, it made us mad because we were one of the regional opponents. But I think that one of the things we're going to have to change in our thinking is when we talk about non-conference and pre-conference schedules moving forward, we should expect to play in the biggest venues. And we should expect to play the biggest names, regardless of they're in our recruiting footprint, the entire contiguous 48 states and 6 or 8 countries is our recruiting footprint now. And so I think you schedule that way too.
So who else would be on that list right now? UConn, I think, is on there. Michigan, you mentioned. You're going to play perhaps Duke in that conference challenge with the ACC. That's the national opponent. Who else would go on that list in today's basketball? Because you can play.
He's played Gonzaga at Kentucky. A lot of this becomes just what your personal wish list is. My point is that when we think about non-conference ball games moving forward, I think we're going to have to, perhaps think a little more nationally and a little less regionally.
Yeah. Hey, a quick word for our friends at Farm Credit. If you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up, either way, check with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started and find out why. For more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours make their dream home come true. Go to myaglender.com, that's myaglender.com, or visit any of their 25 locations in our listing area.
So we got our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. We're also going to talk with Scott Tabor. It's Tommy, myself, and the Morning Rush is live from the Stadium Shop on Razorback. They got Omaha tees. They've got polos, Hawaiian shirts, plus that 75% 25% off clearance section as well. So come on by and see us. We're here all morning. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt are here all weekend.
ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app is live at the 2024 Fayetteville Regional. Exclusive coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. Arvest Bank. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Camping World. Camping World in Poto and Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com. The road to Omaha starts now.
Call up the Omahas. Yes, sir.
Tommy Kraft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get 1.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on a GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Get 1.9% financing and $3,250 in purchase allowance when you trade an eligible vehicle. See the new GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The corporal will wait for an answer.
Talk more about the SEC schedule that came out coming up, including some Arkansas game times. But one of the things that maybe was one of the biggest conversations this week coming out of Sandestin was the possibility of injury reports, like in the National Football League, having them in college football. Just to kind of go back to what Greg Sankey had to say in regards to it, here is what the SEC commissioner said.
We don't want to just rush into something. It's not injury reporting. It's a very different circumstance given some of the privacy issues we have. Yet, when you start to see the numbers of dollars being bet on legalized sports gambling or on college sports, not just football, but men's and women's basketball, volleyball, baseball, I think all of those catch your attention. We have to be thoughtful about how information is managed. It's also a reality that the lives of young people in colleges versus the lives of professional athletes are very different. A lot more exposure to people. A lot more people around our programs that go in and out. Sitting in classrooms is not something that happens to an NFL or a Major League Baseball participant, but it happens on a daily basis at the college level.
So our Morning Rush Daily question, are you in favor of seeing injury reports? Guys, I am. I thought Clay brought up HIPAA earlier this week, which I thought was an interesting part of this conversation. He's a little more familiar and can probably talk more in depth about that. But if there's a workaround, I'm in favor of this.
Well, the HIPAA laws are very real. And, I mean, the HIPAA laws are that's the fly in the ointment, so to speak, if you are among those who want to see everything reported. Look, this is, and we've discussed this is one of the byproducts of partnering with legalized gaming. And I'm not commenting on whether people should or shouldn't. I'm just saying this is one of the byproducts. I get the sense that, historically speaking, this is still a new phenomenon. It's become commonplace, but it's still, from a historical perspective, a new phenomenon. And there are a lot of things that they're still figuring out, if you want to use that term. And I think that things like injury reports and prop bets and all of these things are going to be dealt with. They're going to have to be dealt with over the next 12, 18, 24 months, maybe sooner than that. But I get the sense that we're maneuvering our way through the early stages of the partnership, the legal partnership between sports and gambling. And I think this is just one of the byproducts of that.
Yeah. I think when people hear injury reports, they think it's to give the gamblers more information and better odds of getting their bet correct. But it really, I think, at the root of it, it's to keep people from knocking on the door of an athlete trying to find out privileged information that could help them. We just put it out there, put everybody on a level playing field, then maybe some of these athletes get left alone that are being contacted with bettors trying to get an edge.
Sankey said a lot of things in that clip that you played, I'm going to tell you the 3 or 4 words that I heard. Far more exposed. When you're a professional athlete, when you're a star professional athlete, you make so much money. You've got gates around your home. You don't walk into a building without 10 or 15, bros around you, your buddies, your security, your pals, whatever. You don't go anywhere without those people. If somebody makes a wrong move towards you, you got 5 guys ready to beat him down right in front of everybody. College athletes are sitting in classrooms with kids who are betting on their games. And you think there's not comments made in those classrooms about how somebody's bet went? Ty, you've been in there. You know. It happens every day. Right. And now it's legal, so you can openly talk about it. But my point is that these kids are exposed far more than professional athletes are. Professional athletes have the means to secure themselves, and most of them are surrounded, at least in some form or fashion, by adults who have enough wits about them to keep them out of bad situations, generally, not always. But college athletes don't have that, and you're far more exposed. And of all the things Sankey said, that's what resonates with me. Because when you get into this, and I'm not, again, saying I'm for or against it. It's there. It's legal. Deal with it. That's how I view it. But I think there have to be some realities. And injury reports from a competitive standpoint, from a fan standpoint, they're fun. Fans like to know. Coaches probably like to know too. Mm-hmm. But, again, this is just a byproduct of the partnership with legalized gambling.
Yeah, I even think about, again, Chuck, I don't think you were with us just yet, but some of the comments Dave made yesterday, he was like, we're not going to reveal our starting pitcher until the other teams are done with practice because maybe they practice or game plan differently. Then, of course, after the fact, they announce that. So there is still a bit of gamemanship going on within coaches, and I understand that side of things too. All right, that is your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question presented by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Let's talk to former Razorback pitcher Scott Tabor on the Morning Rush. Our conversation with Scott is brought to you by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Razorback shopping experience. Located next to Whole Foods in Fayetteville or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Razorback fans shop.
Go crazy at Bob Walker! Go nuts!
Scott, welcome into the program. We're about 200 yards from Bob Walker Stadium right now, and he announces, I was just talking about Dave announcing his starting pitching rotation, at least for Friday, Mason Molina. Mason's had 2 really good bullpen performances, retired 15 to 16 guys. What are you expecting from the lefty from Texas Tech today?
I expect Mason to come in with the same attitude that he had coming in out of the bullpen. I think if he takes that attitude, takes it to the mound, I think he'll be successful. He comes in and goes right at him. He doesn't try to see how long he can go. He wants to come in and throw every inning like it's his last. I think it'll be fantastic.
What is the transition like going from a guy that's maybe sent to the bullpen or trying to get his rhythm back to a starter? How much a change of that can you explain to us as a former pitcher?
It's probably just kind of a reset. More than anything else, a mental reset. He didn't lose his talent. He didn't lose his arm. He didn't lose his pitching savvy. I mean, he's a crafty left-hander, and he's got some pop. I think more than anything else, it was a mental reset because as a starter, you're expected to do this. As a reliever, he had to change his whole mindset. He was expected to come right out of the bullpen and get after it. Well, that's the same expectation you should have as a starter. Get after it the second you hit the field. I think he kind of lost that. He lost his confidence a little bit, and so he got his confidence back. That's what it looks like. He got his swagger back, Ty.
There you go. Scott Tabor with us here on the Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. With Hagen Smith going in Game 2, as it appears, as the batting lineup, do you feel a little more pressure? Do you have conversations that, hey, we need to get our guys back. We need to stake him to a lead. Or do you change anything about that today? Because that's one thing this team really needs to do is support the pitcher with some runs early in this ball game.
As a team, you don't really change anything. The coaches may change the lineup a little bit. They may change a few workouts a little bit, going leading up into it. They get to see guys taking batting practice every day that we don't get to see. And you hear all the time, well, I put so-and-so in there because, he had a great week of batting practice. They get to see how a guy's hitting the ball on a regular basis. So they'll build their lineup around who they're starting, who the other team is starting, righty or lefty, and they want more lefties heavy, who they're going to bring in first, as a pinch hitter, and in what situations. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't get to see. As a hitter and as a team, they want to jump on them early, but Arkansas is just not a jump on them early team. And I think that's one of the reasons Dave has always tried to get deep into the counts with hitters, and he kind of hamstrings some hitters. It takes a lot of first pitch strikes, and you can almost see him shaking their head. Kendall Biggs, I can never forget watching him. I'm talking one right down the gut, and he took it, and everybody's, why did he take it? Well, he had to take the sign on, because that's Dave's MO. He wants to get the starter out, and that's by getting deep in his pitch count. So that's just the way he works. Now, he may turn it off. The other team may go, hey, all you got to do is gut it. He's going to take one or two strikes. He may turn that off this weekend. This is the second season. It's let's go get them, hit them, go get them, and cover the outfield like the morning dew. That's what Norm used to say. And so I'd like to see that. I'd like to see us come out aggressive and put up a ton of runs and 10-run rule them if they have that in the regional.
Scott, you mentioned Kendall there, and I listened to Dave. He talked about sometimes he is taking too much. So I guess it's not a call. Kendall just is not swinging the bat like he wants him to. He's talking up there yesterday. I think it sends a message to not just the fan base, but to Kendall. It's like, we have confidence in you. We want you up on the podium. We want you representing us. How do you get one of Arkansas's better hitters out of this funk, Scott?
Well, right now he's a past better hitter. Right now he's not one of our better hitters. He's just not seeing it. He's not, and it could be a vision thing. You don't know, and he doesn't know. That could be something for FTCs to check out. But then again, you look at the kid from TCU last year, and I don't know his name, so I won't really care. He's from TCU. But he came in and, he was 8 for 11 or something in the series against us, or in the Super Regional, and just tore everybody up. The guy couldn't miss. And sometimes a hitter will hit a streak like that. You would love to see that to happen to Kendall Biggs. He's a great kid, and this has got to be tearing him up more than anybody else. You'd love to see him come out of his struggles, and they keep giving him every opportunity to do that. Again, they get to watch batting practice all week, and they may work on one little thing here, one little thing there, or where's your front foot, or where's your front hip, something small, and it may click, and I hope it does this weekend.
What would be your best guess on how Dave's approached the defense this week? They've been very consistent, very, at or near the top of the SEC all season long, and then in Hoover and really down the stretch at A&M had unforeseen errors. Had 5 inflicted wounds last week at the SEC tournament. How do you think Dave's approached cleaning that up this week and playing cleaner baseball?
The only approach to playing cleaner baseball is just take more reps. There's going to be errors. You're going to make errors. Nobody has a perfect season fielding baseball. But the one thing that we hang our hat on is pitching and defense. And the defense was shady. I watched some of the plays up the hole. What happened? And sometimes it's a mental thing. They're sitting out in the infield, and things just aren't happening. There's not a lot of ground balls. There's a lot of strikeouts. And all of a sudden, a rocket hit at them. And they don't make the play. Sometimes it's a tricky hop. Sometimes it's a lot of spin. The play with the Tiger, I think we talked about it before. That's a trickier play than it looks like. Sometimes you get to hurry. I used to always tell my son, I said, be quick, but don't be in a hurry. And sometimes you get in a hurry and you start picking your head up and look where you're going to throw it rather than fielding the ball and getting things done. I think it's just a focus thing. And hopefully he'll be refocused. Because this is the second season. This is what you play all season to get seated at the top, because you want to have the easiest path there according to your seed. And so that part of the season's gone. This is the second season, and this is where it all starts, and hopefully they're as excited as we are.
So you bring in Brady there. Brady not on the roster for this weekend. Cooper Dossett is done, it sounds like, for postseason. Scott, what kind of impact does that have, not just on this weekend, but if they are able to advance and move into other weekends?
Well, Tiger's a big part of this team. he's a huge part of this team, and he has been for since the day he stepped on campus. He's just got to be. He's got to be the guy that we expect him to be. But did you say they left him off the roster?
Yeah, he's not going to be a part of this roster this weekend. He's
shoulder. It's a shoulder issue.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say that, and I'm sorry, I've been hugely busy, but I didn't hear that. I didn't know that. So it's a little injury, But you've got guys to step in, and I'm a huge Cooper Gossett fan. I watched him go earlier in the year, and he's got tremendous stuff. He's still honing that skill and that mental ability to throw the ball where he wants to, get the number of reps where he can just paint the outside corner, because he's got some dynamic stuff. He's got a fantastic cutter. And so if Dawson's on, there's no drop off there, none whatsoever. He doesn't have the big breaker that Tiger has, but who does? You don't have to have that big breaking ball to be a great pitcher. And Dawson's got some good stuff, and he's shown some great innings. So, that's part of having a deep staff and part of having a deep team. We talked about at the beginning of the season, just the number of weapons and the number of toys that Van Horn has in his arsenal and has to pick from. So I think things will be okay.
Yeah, and obviously you're planning for the future with Dossett and with Tigert. He's going to be out of eligibility after this year, so you'd like to see them be a part of it, and just doesn't appear like Dossett for sure we know, but doesn't appear like Brady Tigert is very hopeful for the rest of the year. All right. Have you looked at all at La Tech or Kansas State or even today's opponent in SEMO? What do you see out of the other three teams in this region?
Well, if we were playing SEMO in a midweek game, we would pretty much count that as a win, and we're looking to run. Once you get past their starter, and I guarantee you they're going to try to do everything they can to get their starter out of there and start pounding on the midweek guy, on this number 2 guy. I think our number 2 guy is better than their number 2 guy. I think their number 3 guys, our 3 guys, better than their 3 guy. So, you kind of look at it one game at a time, and then La Tech and Kansas State, they're going to be throwing their number 1 guys.
Yep.
You think, and they should be. And realistically, earlier in the season, earlier in the week, I always say get in and throw your best against their best, and see what happens. And throw number 2s against number 2s. But Molina has the stuff to be a number 1 guy. He was the number 1 guy last year at Texas Tech. So it's not like we have only one stud. We've got a lot of studs. I think it's a good choice having Molina go in. And like I said, if he comes in with that mindset, we could have a pretty smooth sailing going through. We have enough guns, enough bullets in the gun to get through it.
Well, Scott, we hope we're talking this time next week. Means we're getting ready for a super regional in Fayetteville, and we'll catch up with you hopefully next week.
Tell Robert Man I said hello. He and I grew up in the same area, the same neck of the woods.
Well,
lived on Man Road.
Robert was he was asking me a minute ago, but hey, ask him if he went to Cloverdale Junior High.
Yes, I did, and McClellan High School.
All right. Yep. All right, Scott, enjoy the weekend. Maybe we'll see you at the ballpark.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, Scott Tabor, former classmate of Robert Mann's, with us here on the Morning Rush. It's brought to you by Alumni Hall. Find them online at alumnihall.com. Chuck, this is, you hate to have pitchers like Dossett and Tigert not available, but, Scott speaks to the depth of the bullpen. It's been pretty consistent out of that pen all year long, and, I think Dave's very comfortable leaning on those guys.
Well, he has no choice. And, we can lament Tiger being out, Dossett and all that, but the bottom line is, from this point forward, the most important thing, the first thing you've got to be is available. You got to be available. And if you're not available, then you go on with the other guys. And I hope Tiger can pitch before the year's over, but if he can't, it's next guy up. And you just hope the next guy up's, good or as good or better than the guy he's replacing. So I just think you got to go on with what you've got, and it's a shame, but that's how it's played out.
If you missed what Dave had to say about Brady Tigert, here's his response to the injury question.
Tigert, one really good inning, struggles, probably won't be on the 27 because he doesn't feel very good, so we'll leave it at that. And even if he was, it'd be 1 inning. So we got guys who can throw 1 inning and do a great job. Just want healthy people out there. It's more like a shoulder. They're going to have to do some testing, a little. I don't know the exact word. It's not a ligament. Shoulder's not a problem. It's something that needs a little time. I want guys, when they get on the mound, they feel good about how they feel, and they go pitch and not have something going on. The middle part of this game won't let you perform if you're thinking like that, and if you got something going on, which he does.
So hopefully next weekend, if they get out of this regional, he's a possibility. But, Chuck, I would wholeheartedly agree. It's about the guys that you have to utilize this weekend, like Hagen Smith, like Mason Molina, like Fouch, and some of these others. That is still the number one ERA in all of college baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you pitch the guys you have. I mean, look, I like Brady Tygart. And when Brady Tygart's on, he can be almost unhittable at times. But if he's not available or if he's not pitching well, if he doesn't feel like he can pitch well, then you can't pitch him, period. And you just got to go to the next guy regardless of who it is. Fortunately for Arkansas, their next guys tend to be better than most other teams' next guys. And Tabor kind of alluded to this a few moments ago. Arkansas's number 2 ought to be better than their number 2, and Arkansas's number 3 ought to be better than their number 3. So we've heard about the depth, and again, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. The format this weekend is so different that if your depth is going to be tested, this might be the weekend where it is. You can start a different guy. I mean, look, let's be honest. Tiger was giving him, even when he was rolling, about 5 innings. And right now, as Dave said, he's only going to be good for about 1 or 2. I got lots of guys that are good enough for 1 or 2. So, again, you just go on. And be nice if he was available, but he's not. So Molina's pitching tonight, and as far as I'm concerned, tonight's game is the most important game of the season. Hey, I'm going to pause just for a second and talk to you about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been busy this week. A lot of it has to do with tornado cleanup and feeding first responders and feeding people who are out of their homes. And so many have dealt without, have lived without power for this week. And they've been busy, just like lots of other people have. They've been my partners in the real estate game from start to finish. And a lot of it does have to do with some of the things we've seen this week. Neighbor helping neighbor. That's kind of the way they've done their business over the years. And it sure helped the first time I was buying a home. And it sure helped the first time I had to sell a home and move into another one. And they've been with me every step of the way. I've had a great experience with them because they are good people. I think that'll be your experience too. Now, they're in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Washington and Benton counties. They're in Fort Smith. You hear us talking about their office in Branson. And you can always log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
So we got plenty to get to in our Hog Update. We're going to hear more from Dave Van Horn. Also talk some more about the Arkansas schedule. And speaking of schedule, Chuck, I don't know if it's rotten luck that you and me will be in Dallas, but Alan Jackson is coming into town the weekend of the A&M game to Bud Walton Arena. Now, it's good marketing on their part because I kind of thought that based on the One Last Time tour that literally his last time ever performing would be in Fayetteville, but he's going to be here. My dad's coming to one or two of those concerts. He says he's awesome. So I think a good chunk of our audience will be trying to get tickets this next Friday.
I'm sure it'll be full.
Yeah. And it may be his last tour because he's got some health issues that are probably going to limit his ability.
I think that's the name of the tour, isn't it? Is the last
tour.
Well,
George Strait had the Cowboy Ride Away tour for about 5 different times. So
okay.
I mean, but Alan Jackson
kind of like it's like the furniture store that's been going out of business for 7 years.
Exactly. I think with Alan, this may be the actual closing ride here on the tour circuit. Hey, our friends at Gaston still cleaning up and getting kind of back after it. Power's back on, and they're going to be ready to take care of you at Gaston's for that summer trip and getaway. If you got plans to go over for the weekend for maybe a lunch or a dinner, just kind of a getaway, call them at 870-431-5202 and make reservations for dinner this weekend or that summer trip you're looking to make this summer. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all summer sports, from Major League Baseball, golf, to the NBA and NHL playoff stats. They've got all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Reed from Woodland. Read about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing.
202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
And we welcome you back live from the Stadium Shop for your Hog Update. I know a lot of you are happy to be back at Baum-Walker Stadium, as is Dave Van Horn.
It's good to be here, especially when you're coming off like a 9-10 day road trip. We didn't have to load back up after getting a few days off and head out again. We just get to continue our routine, and rest is good at this time of the year. For any Division I team, it's tough trying to get through and maneuver through the league. And you get through the SEC, it'll beat you down a little bit. And so rest was really good for us.
Later on at 2 o'clock today, your Arkansas Razorbacks will take on the SEMO Redhawks. Tommy, you were looking, it looks like, at least according to the weather app, the rain ends before, what'd you say, 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I mean, if these things are right, I mean, it's changed a bunch in the last 24 hours, but overall, a little over half an inch of rain forecasted for today in Fayetteville. Most of it to occur just after the show at 9 o'clock, between 9 and 11. And right now showing no rain after noon, if this app is right. So, I mean, yesterday it was over 2 inches of rain forecasted for Fayetteville. So, been quite a shift, I'd say, in the forecast, Chuck.
Well, yeah, you're just playing at 2 o'clock, and you got to prepare for that and plan accordingly. Bring a jacket, get you one of those ponchos there at Robert's store, and go in there and get ready.
And keep on a truck. We'll keep you updated right here on halftime and across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com if there are changes later on today. Got some good news. Arkansas is going to be playing at 3:15. I know people are wondering, will your season opener be at 11 o'clock against UAB? And I say season opener. Your season opener at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, third game of the season. Guys, it is a 3:15 start on the SEC Network. I was mistaken. My dad was texting me last week. I'm an idiot. I said Fox about a bajillion times yesterday. The Oklahoma State game is 11 o'clock on ABC. And then the Thursday night game we've known for a while now, that's the UAPB game, the opener in Little Rock, 6:30 on ESPNU. So after I thought about it, you got a night game on Thursday, which no one really cares about because you're going to blow out UAB, and you get to watch real college football starting Saturday. Your road opponent, while they're going to be good, is 11 a.m. You'd much rather play an opponent at 11 a.m. on the road. Your first game of the season in Donald W. is not 11. So I'm not going to lie, guys, I kind of like this opening 3-game slot. I don't know how the rest of the 9 games are going to look, but I kind of like these 3 first games after kind of rethinking it.
Well, you can't do anything about it. So, I mean, and everyone's got to, it's just how it works now. You're going to play night games. You're going to play games that start before noon. You're going to play games in the middle of the afternoon. Nobody's going to care how hot it is. That's just how it works. And so I can live with whatever they do. I'll be there either way.
That's what I probably guessed. At Arkansas basketball reportedly going to be playing in Madison Square Garden this upcoming December, according to John Rothstein, in the 2024 Jimmy V Classic, facing off against Michigan, and then Tennessee's going to play Miami. That's not official just yet, but John Rothstein did have that information yesterday. And funny enough, last time you were in Madison Square Garden, one of the opponents you played was Michigan, also UConn back in 1997. All right, last thing here in your Hog Update. The Dallas Mavericks, Big C, congratulations, won last night pretty handily. I mean, they won 124-103. Daniel Gafford, another solid game, 11 points, 9 rebounds, and a block. He was 100% from for his attempts on field goal and 5 for 6 to the line. But the story last night was Luka Doncic.
I knew it was going to be a long night for whoever was in front of him, At the end of the day, I just, set a screen, got him downhill. I thought I set a good enough screen, then I turn around, he's shooting from half court and making it. So I was just like, at this point, I don't even need to set a screen for you, bro. So he had it going early, and we just had to, I would say, just piggyback off of the energy he started with. He set the tone, and we just had to really just kind of follow suit.
Guys, Luka scored 20 points in the first quarter. Again, Daniel had a good game last night, but you heard Daniel there talking about his teammate. He was pretty remarkable last night.
Yep.
Oh, Luka's just unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. The Mavericks are on a run right now. I think they're going to beat Boston.
He may be the best player in the world right now.
Yep, it's going to be a fun series. Gets going Thursday night of next week, and can't wait to see Daniel Gafford, an Arkansas Razorback, featured in the NBA Finals. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with Benny Malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So we are live this morning at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Come by and see us if you need any hog air for this weekend or any other weekend in general. And if you need fencing, whether it's small, residential repair, or commercial, Sean, the fence man, is your guys. We welcome him into the program this morning. Sean, it's been a little wet around here, and you know what they say about wet dirt. What's your phrase again?
Easy to dig.
Easy to dig, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully we'll have some easy games to pick as we get into another Fence Man Friday.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, starting today, we got several SEC teams, 11 over the course of the weekend that will be participating, a record for the Southeastern Conference. We'll go to Kentucky first for the Lexington Regional. They host Western Michigan. Tommy, do they get it done today, and do they get out of their regional?
Well, which one do I need to answer for our picks?
Just answer them.
What's the question? Do they win the regional?
Do they win the regional?
Is that the question?
Yeah, Kentucky wins the regional.
Do they win the regional?
Yes.
Yes, I also think Kentucky's going to come out. I don't honestly. I think it's going to be a pretty good bashing there at Lexington this weekend, Chuck.
Kentucky wins that regional very easily.
It's not.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be easy though. The Sycamores of Indiana State are a good ball club, very high RPI. So, Indiana State I think is going to make it pretty tough on them.
Larry Bird play
You may
baseball.
be right.
They don't have a chance. What do you think, Sean?
I'm with you guys. I got it all the way.
All right, LSU's in Chapel Hill this weekend. North Carolina got beat by Arkansas 2 years ago in that super regional. That is the of any regional SEC team that's not playing at home. That's the one I have circled. I got LSU coming out of Chapel Hill, fellas.
We'll see if the run ends here. I got North Carolina winning this. I think North Carolina wins that region.
I'm going to go with LSU to win that regional.
Hot team right now.
What do you think, Sean?
Oh, I'm with you guys. I'm LSU. I think they showed some stuff over the past couple of weeks, so I think they're going to go right through it.
Yep, they've been one of the hottest teams in college baseball. Vanderbilt is in Clemson, South Carolina, and Clemson's regional. They play Coastal first, which of course has won a national championship in the last decade. I do have Clemson winning this regional. Vandy's just not had the year that I know Tim Corbin has wanted. I have Clemson getting out of their own regional this weekend, guys.
I think Vanderbilt's kind of put it back together at the SEC tournament. I'll take the Commodores.
Yeah, I mean, we're basing our opinion strictly on Vanderbilt. We've not watched Clemson play. I don't think any of us have watched Clemson play, if we're being real honest. I'm taking the Commodores.
What are you thinking, Sean?
I'm on the boat with everybody else. I think the Commodores are going to – I don't know anything about Clemson, so go Commodores.
All right, final game that we'll pick in the regional is in Fayetteville. It's the Arkansas Razorbacks again hosting Louisiana Tech, Kansas State, and SEMO, their opener at 2 o'clock today. Tommy, I think Arkansas is probably going to come out, but how does it go down? Do they win them all this weekend, or they drop one and have to win an elimination game at some point?
I think Arkansas wins the regional 3 games. They go undefeated this weekend, win it Sunday night.
Yeah, I think people are a little nervous after what happened last year. I don't expect that same outcome. I think Arkansas is able to take care of business this weekend, Sean.
Well, I'm going to say go with what you said. I think they're going to drop one and have to really get after it at the very end.
All right, brought to you by the Fence Man. Sean, I know you're still looking for new team members, and great way to get a great job with a great company, top tools, and all the resources anyone would need to build great fence.
Yes. I invest in my people. I invest in my equipment, because if you've got good people, you've got good equipment, it means you're going to build a good fence. We like to stay with our customers, follow up with them, make sure they're happy. So that's what keeps us in business, is that referral. So come work for me or give me a call for a fence. Let's get her done.
782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. Sean, enjoy the weekend.
Hey, Arkansas, are you feeling lucky? Because the Lotto jackpot is seriously over $2 million right now. A jackpot this high won't last long. And this one is only won in Arkansas. Some lucky player could be buying the winning ticket right now. Play twice a week for your chance at a life-changing jackpot. Tickets start at only $2. Don't miss Lotto, only in Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Find out and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
This is the Morning Rush.
Get 1.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on a GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Get 1.9% financing and $3,250 in purchase allowance when you trade an eligible vehicle. See the new GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Hey, Wes. Billy, hay is for horses. Are my ears that long?
Oh, you got me again. I'm going to order a large Boss Hog pizza for fishing tomorrow.
That's a lot of food. You taking a friend?
No, sir. I'm going to use it as bait.
Pizza as bait for fishing?
Yes'm. The catfish love 'em, some Jim's Razorback pizza.
They do?
Yes'm. They chase the bacon faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup. And they come right to the river's edge when I call them too. Woo! Fish suey!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, cloudy skies, occasional showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures today will be in the low to mid 70s. Showers and thunderstorms will continue tonight, overnight low mid 60s. Partly sunny, a chance of showers, a few scattered thunderstorms, especially early on Saturday. Our high temperatures will be into the low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 90 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
I don't know why those experiences wouldn't help you. I don't feel like anybody's ready to go home yet. I don't feel like that they've checked it in mentally. That's not what I've seen the last few days. We'll see how it goes on the field. And again, if we play good, we have a chance. If we don't, we won't get out of here. It's just the way it is.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bush Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Kristen Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McCarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
And we welcome you back in hour number 3 of a Fastball Fridays. We're live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, courtesy of Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew Mann. All your Razorback gear, they have it right here for the Fayetteville Regional, for summer. Really anything you need. They got couches, they got poker tables, they got it all. So stop by this weekend if you're in the area, or you can always shop online as well. We're going to talk more baseball coming up, but we did get some early games, not just for Arkansas, but the SEC. Plus, there's a report out there that the SEC and Netflix are going to do kind of this behind-the-scenes docu-series, which I think could be cool. So we'll talk about that, too, in this segment coming up.
Hey, we'll talk to all the guys over 30 and the one sitting next to me that's almost 30 anymore. If you're feeling tired, you've gained a few pounds, just haven't been feeling like yourself as you've gotten into your 30s, the doctors over at MD Hair Labs, the Vitality Center, they got you covered with their expert testosterone replacement therapy. It's called TRT. And there's been a lot of gains in knowledge, a lot of gains in how they can help you treat testosterone now. And they've offered different flexible options, weekly in-clinic injections, convenient at-home prescriptions, or their super easy TRT pellet program. It only requires a single visit every 4 to 6 months to get the TRT pellet program going. And the best part, MD Hair Labs and Vitality is conveniently located right here in Northwest Arkansas, right near Top Golf. So they make it easy to drive to and fit right into your schedule in Northwest Arkansas or anywhere around when you make your next trip to Benton or Washington County. Right now, MD Hair Labs and Vitality is offering a free consultation, an on-site testosterone test for just $49. It's the perfect time to check your levels and to see if TRT is right for you. So head over to mdhairlabs.com. That's mdhairlabs.com to schedule your free consult. mdhairlabs.com. Get back to feeling your best with MD Hair and Vitality.
This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by McClarty Daniel. McClarty Daniel has a vehicle to fit both your style and budget. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, you're never too far from a good deal. Visit McClartyDaniel.com to find your next ride.
So I mentioned earlier in our Hog Update, you know the 3 Arkansas games to start the season. 6:30 Thursday night against UAPB in Little Rock on ESPNU. 11 a.m. against Oklahoma State on ABC. on Saturday, that following Saturday. And then 3:15 is your season opener at Donald W. on the SEC network. What I found interesting, I know we always talk about this, is the end of the season game against Missouri is originally slated for Saturday, and they often move it back to Friday. Guys, the Egg Bowl is going to be on Black Friday this year at 2:30 on ABC. I wonder how that potentially affects the Arkansas game. And my thought is that you might not move back to Friday this year. We're kind of used in tradition, whether it's LSU or Missouri, to play that after Thanksgiving Friday game. I'm not so sure it's going to move this year.
Well, I'm not either. In fact, based on what I see, Ole Miss and Mississippi State will play in the very same time slot that Arkansas and LSU and then Arkansas and Missouri occupied. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be played then. Georgia and Georgia Tech are going to play the ABC night game that night. I doubt that it's going to be, frankly, a full Friday schedule like it will be the next day. The way I see it, the only way they're going to play on Friday is if it's at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, it doesn't mean they won't. I have no idea how it's going to play out. But when you look at the time slots and consider the fact that, again, the bulk of the games are still going to be played on Saturday.
Yep.
The only time slot that I see would be if you played that Friday at 11 in the morning. And I'm kind of like you. I wonder if this doesn't mean that game goes to Saturday. But I don't know.
And I assume the Egg Bowl's still Thursday night?
No, that's what we were saying.
Okay.
It's Friday.
It's in the time slot. It's in the time slot now that Arkansas was in before. So I'm not sure how they're going to work all that.
Well,
I'm going to guess that Texas and Texas A&M are going to play Thanksgiving night because Ole Miss and Mississippi State have played on Thanksgiving night, and they're moving to Friday afternoon. So I'm going to assume that Texas and Texas A&M will play Thanksgiving night.
And that's a captive audience, I think, on Thanksgiving night. I know it's probably logistically not great for the teams, and, there's been some pushback even with Nick Saban not wanting to play at Friday and a quick turnaround. But as far as audience for the networks and audience for school exposure, I think Thanksgiving night's is a great spot to be on TV.
Well, I always watch the Egg Bowl,
and
that was always one of the things that I did Thanksgiving night was watch the Egg Bowl, and I'm sure I will watch Texas and Texas A&M. When Arkansas, when they were really in the heyday of that Friday game with LSU, it was the only game on, and so I can remember Petrino talking about that when he was here. That it's the only game on, everybody's watching it. And it's not quite like that now. You've got a lot more Friday games than you did before, but you still play the bulk on Saturday. So, look, for the Arkansas-Missouri game to be attractive, both sides have got to start beating each other. And that means us. The onus is on us. We got to start beating them. Let me rephrase that. Mm-hmm. If we want that game to be attractive to anybody, we got to start beating them.
Well,
and when we do, it'll be attractive again.
Because that series used to be a game of consequence, and it's no longer of consequence. That game, for one team or the other, had a bearing on the Western Division for a long time. Now you take divisions out, and some of these games at the end of the year may not be as attractive because a division title at least isn't on the line. But, Arkansas in that final game of the year when they played LSU hadn't been of consequence, and quite frankly, the Missouri series hadn't lived up to that either.
So that is the notable announced game times. Again, there's no change thus far on the Arkansas-Missouri game. Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry has been shifted from 11 a.m. to 2:30, either on ESPN or ABC. That was one of the more notable changes. We're going to find out a good more chunk of the schedule coming up, not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, June the 11th. They're going to do it, oddly, at like 1 p.m. right before Feinbaum to talk about it a little bit. Some of the big-time games coming up, you've got Clemson and Georgia at 11 a.m., Florida and Miami at 2:30, and then Notre Dame and Texas A&M at 6:30. That's the first weekend. And then you've got USC and LSU, which will play that Monday night. It's always intriguing.
Sunday night. Is it Sunday or Monday? Sunday in Vegas, I think.
Yeah, 9-1. No, I think it's.
Is it Monday night?
Yeah, it's because it's or 8- No, you're right. You're right. Sunday night. I apologize. That's Sunday in Vegas, which apparently, Chuck, I don't know if you caught wind when we were talking about that yesterday. Did you see the report that Lincoln Riley was trying to get out of that game? That USC was trying to get out of that game? I don't know if that was an SEC centered. I kind of thought that it's coming out of media day, so maybe that's LSU just trying to ruffle some feathers and LSU source. But I did find that a little interesting.
Well, I'm sure when he took the job, he probably said, "Can we get out of that game?" I don't doubt that. But now, obviously, it's not like you can pull out, 3 or 4 months before the game's being played. That ship sailed. But it wouldn't surprise me if initially he didn't say, "Hey, can we get out of that game?"
So you guys mentioned the Texas A&M Texas game, which has been a big part of their rivalry prior to A&M coming over to the SEC. We are seeing already with Texas and Oklahoma, which has traditionally been an 11 o'clock game, the SEC will sometimes stick with tradition like they seemingly have with Arkansas and LSU, and then there's other times they'll either change it up a little bit or they don't really care about past stuff.
Well, you've got to remember the 11 o'clock kickoff is not a tradition of the Red River rivalry. That's a product of their partnership with Fox and their desire for that noon kickoff in the Eastern time zone. Neither Oklahoma nor Texas is ever like the 11 o'clock kickoff. But that's a product of a bad television deal. And they've got a better television deal now in the SEC, and that's why they're going to play at a better time.
But let's also be honest, when you're playing at the old Cotton Bowl, you can't really kick off at night anymore. Just that part of town. I mean, it's a bad situation as far as you got the fair and everything going on there. They just don't want to play that game and start at 6 p.m. or later. It's going to be a morning. It's going to be an 11 a.m. or a 2:30 kickoff when you're playing at the old Cotton Bowl.
I saw Chris Delicante, their athletics director, already come boasting that that's the best rivalry in the SEC, which I thought was, and the best rivalry in college football, which I thought was interesting. But before we move on to baseball, one other thing, I mentioned this at the top. Netflix and the SEC sounds like they're going to do some full swing Drive to Survive, like the full swing for golf, the Drive to Survive for Formula One. I watched some of these things on the SEC network, the aftermaths, like the leading up and stuff, but I think this is something that I'll probably, if it's a weekly occurrence or something that will play out over the course of the season, I'm going to get invested in this because I like when they do like the behind-the-scenes look of different practices, not just here in Arkansas, but when it comes to other conferences as well. This is something that I will watch for sure if it comes out.
I'm sure it'll be interesting. I don't know exactly what they have planned, but I'm sure it'll be interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people will watch.
Yeah, I think
so. Those are things that anytime you do any kind of inside look, people like that, fans like that. I enjoy it, and Netflix is sure making a move. There's no doubt about that. Netflix is making a move into the sports world, and we'll have to see how it all plays out for them. Hey, let me talk about McLarty Daniel for just a moment before we move on. If you're a McLarty Daniel customer now, if you've already done business in one of their 6 dealerships in Springdale or Bentonville, you know about the McLarty Daniel difference. You know about customer experience, and that's really what they're all about. Whether it's involvement with you as a customer, the community, they're invested. Let's just put it that way. And look, you're going to get a great deal. That's a given when you go in on a new automobile. You're going to get a great deal. But what you're going to experience, and this is the difference, is what happens when that sale is done. You're going to find things that you don't find everywhere, like Saturday service, complimentary rentals while your car is being serviced. You're going to feel it when you walk in the door. They're going to welcome you. They're going to be glad to see you. They're going to offer you a cup of coffee. That's kind of how it works when somebody that you know walks in. And that's the way they do business at McLarty Daniel. They do have 6 dealerships in Bentonville and Springdale, and you can always log on to McLartyDaniel.com.
We are live at the Stadium Shop this morning, just steps away from Baum-Walker Stadium. Robert Mann and his family have been kind enough to have us over to get ready for this regional. You're ready for the regional. There's no question. You've got every color, every style of shirt, and anything anyone would need to get ready for to be game day ready today.
Let's just say we do our best.
Yeah, well,
we do the best we can do.
Yeah, you've done pretty well here. Anything unique? I just love during the breaks getting up and browsing around the store, whether it's, things like you'd see, routinely, like shot glasses, but you've got barware here that if someone's, created a man cave and they got a wet bar and they want really nice glassware with Razorback stuff on it, you've got that stuff.
Decanters, glassware, wine glasses, you name it, we got it. You're right. A lot of people want the finer things for their little man cave / bar area, and we even have a few vintage decanters that I'll go find and get and put out. I share with other people. If I've got 2 of something, I always usually try to sell it. So there's no telling what you'll find in here. But the beauty is I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a lifelong Razorback fan, and nothing gets made unless we approve it, for lack of a better way to put it. All the shirts, we have a final say in what goes on them. We don't just take what they have sitting on the shelf unless it's all that there is. I've got our artwork approval right now on my phone. I got to go look at here in a minute to see if and I think it's for in the event we host a super regional T-shirt. We'll have those too, and I've got to approve that art here in a minute.
All right, so I can come by it. Tell me the backstory on these specialty shirts with Hagen Smith and Kendall Diggs and the one with Aloy and Souza both on them. What was the inspiration for those?
Well, honestly, there's a local manufacturer printer that made them, and they offered them to us. So we got a thing from that printer saying, hey, do you want to put these in your store? I wish I had more room because they have about 4 other ones that I wanted to go get, but we picked out 4 to go on that 4-way, and some people call us and say, hey, I got an idea. What do you think about this? And if it's one I think everybody will go with, we'll get it.
All right.
So I mean, they're popular people. I mean, and they're NIL approved, which means the athletes get paid on that as well. The posters too.
You have to say that. Is that you have to
I don't have to say that, but I want everybody to know there's a lot of bogus merchandise out there that are not benefiting the athletes, that are not benefiting the university, that are not licensed, and everything that we do here is on the up and up. Everything we do here is licensed. The players do get a piece of it. So there's a lot of stuff out there on the interwebs that just aren't going through the proper channels and don't benefit anybody but the manufacturer.
Some guy that takes a picture, grabs a picture off the internet, slaps it on a T-shirt.
Oh, I get my graphics stolen all the time. Somebody Etsy will show up with a shirt that we did, and they'll be printing them in their garage and selling them.
That's annoying.
It is. It's very annoying. But hey, we're here for the Razorback fans. We're already parking cars. We already had a gentleman come in and park just a second ago. So game on for us right now.
It's a big day. Again, hopefully it looks like the weather is going to either subside right before first pitch or right around it. So hopefully there's no change. But if you need a poncho, if it does rain a little bit, then you've also got those too, Robert, here.
Yep. And we're within walking distance. I mean, you can step out the door and see the stadium. So if you're killing time in between, if there's a rain delay or something, come on down. We'll have TVs on. We'll have all the games on that they're broadcasting. I guess you guys can see we got like 6 TVs in here. So whatever the games are, we'll have them on.
What do you think about all the coaching connections with Dave here? I mean, you got Burrows, you got Sawyer, Ezel, Vitello, Johnson.
Say what you will about Arkansas, but we've always had a coaching line, whether it's football.
Start with Frank.
Yeah, started with Frank, and now it's in baseball, and it's kind of cool to look down the line and say, yeah, I met that guy. Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, that guy coached here. Yeah, that guy played here. It's kind of a, we put out a lot of good coaches from here, and that speaks highly. And, Frank always had the position of, I never want an assistant coach that doesn't want to be a head coach. That was, his rule of thumb. If he doesn't want to be a head coach and he's happy being an assistant, that's not good enough.
Well, the best coaches have and best bosses have great people around them, and a lot of those people that you're talking about end up making good coaches today. So what has been the most popular item as we're in postseason now? What has been, you've got the Ribby sweatshirts that Chuck was eyeing earlier. What has been the item that you've maybe been selling the most around here?
Beer hats.
Beer hats.
Yeah.
Not joking, it's beer hats.
And the
not everybody has one.
Yeah. I'm shocked. We've sold so many beer hats, it's ridiculous. Matter of fact, the manufacturer, I ran out last game we had, and I ordered 144, and the manufacturer sent me an email saying, hey, we only have 104. We're out. You've taken everything we got. So I said, send me the 104 and let me know when you get more of them because I'm going to need them.
It is. I do like when different college baseball broadcasters share with. I mean, our audience knows about it, but when you have someone ask, what are they doing, or when you go to Omaha and then a random fan asks, why are Arkansas fans doing that? It's kind of cool to give that backstory.
Well, it's a unique thing. There's not another team in baseball that does that.
Yeah.
I mean, leave it to Arkansas fans.
ShopOnRazorback.com. You can spell that both ways.
Yeah,
with an E or without an E.
With an E or without an E, because I was kind of had a brain malfunction one day and said, hey, let's just get them both. So
All right, so you can do that. So if you're listening and you're not going to make it over this weekend, but you want a beer hat to wear in your living room or the next time you come or anything we've talked about or just see the merchandise, you can just go online, shoponrazorback.com, and browse the showroom virtually.
And if you're like me and have trouble with the interweb sometimes, just call the store, 479 Stadium. The guys and girls will answer the phone and talk you through it and finish the we can even do it over the phone and ship it to you, and all is well, because I can't get everything online.
Easy peasy. All right, that's shoponrazorback.com, right next door to Baum-Walker Stadium. If you're by this morning, you'll see the ESPN Arkansas vehicle out front. We'd love for you to come in and say hello. Robert, let's talk again before we go, but thanks for having us out.
Go Hogs.
All right, there we go. Robert Mann here with us from the Stadium Shop. Always a good place to be. I mean, Chuck, anything you can imagine. Things for your grill. If you want a full set of spatulas and tongs and everything you need to be the grill master, they got Razorback embossed grillware or grill items or whatever you want to call it.
You know, the thing about Robert and Elizabeth, and I've known them both a long time, it is a labor of love for them. I know it is. And they take pride in having the things that Razorback fans want. I mean, they do. I know them. And that's why some of the stuff you've got in there right now, I mean, hey, that's stuff you can wear all year round. That's good-looking stuff.
Yeah, and Father's Day's
it's great point,
2 weeks from Sunday. So if you're up here this weekend and, you're trying to figure out what to get, you can probably find something for every dad. Or I guess Robert and Elizabeth got gift cards you can buy, gift certificates. Yeah, he's nodding yes. So you can get Dad a gift certificate to the Stadium Shop.
Dad's usually not as picky as Mom is, so I think if you get him something, he'll be happy enough. So, but you do have that option.
Yep,
too.
they got gift card. You hold one up, just the plastic gift card. So, all right, come by and see him this weekend if you're at the ball game here at the Stadium Shop and get one of those. All right, we got plenty more to get to, including your calls on the McClarty Daniel hotline. It's been a busy morning, and all of our coverage of the Fayetteville Regional is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice at a reasonable price. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com. By Arvest Bank. Since 1961, Arvest Bank has been committed to local communities. They're always ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Camping World. Get into your perfect RV at Camping World. They're in Poto and in Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com.
All right, so when we return, we'll get into more of what Dave Van Horn had to say yesterday. Plus, you had this great story from Andy Sawyers, who's the C coach, talking about something Dave Van Horn did for him personally back in the day and really pushed him. I thought that was a good topic. We'll come back to that when we return live from the stadium.
ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app is live at the 2024 Fayetteville Regional. Exclusive coverage is presented by Mock Legal Solutions. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. Arvest Bank. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by Camping World. Camping World in Poto and Van Buren, and online at campingworld.com. The road to Omaha starts now.
Call up the Omahawks. Yes, sir. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
The nation
is going to be talking about Arkansas.
Get 1.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on a GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Get 1.9% financing and $3,250 in purchase allowance when you trade an eligible vehicle. See the new GMC Sierra 1500 at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, Jim Cash, fourth generation jeweler and owner of the Diamond Center. I'm excited to announce our second annual Kiss and Tell event, and we would love to see you. I will be in store for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, June 7th and 8th, to negotiate every piece of jewelry. This event is special because this is the best pricing of the year and all still backed by our free lifetime warranty. Come and make me an offer during these 2 days only for our Kiss and Tell event here at the Diamond Center. Visit us before for more details. Again, those dates are Friday and Saturday, June 7th and 8th at the Diamond Center, a legacy of love.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Well, I also think what Chuck's getting at nonchalantly is that, hey, we need to be there next year in Sandestin. I think
I'm
that's
trying to get you a trip, Ty.
I think that's what he's driving
Trying to
at,
take
Tom,
care of
which I'll happily in the middle of
I understand. I very much understand the why. Frankly, the SEC spring meetings bring a lot more news than SEC media days.
I can go and book us out a year in advance if you want me to, Tommy. Be happy to do that. What do you think?
I think I need to look at my calendar first. That's what I think.
I'm
much like this New York City trip that the Hogs are going to be playing. I've cleared my calendar already, so I can go.
Falls on my birthday weekend.
Yeah, you can't go. You probably got a wedding or a gender reveal to be at. So, sorry, me and Chuck will cover the event from the Big Apple.
Are they going to reveal your gender, Ty?
Yeah.
I couldn't resist. It was just low-hanging fruit right there. It was low-hanging fruit.
Now I'm going to have to make that a promo. God. Damn it. Damn it, Chuck. All right, let's talk to our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources, so I get to meet David after the show. Now, is David a good guy, Larry? Am I walking in the line, or is he one of your favorites?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's my boy, but I mean, cool as he can be. You're going to love David. He's
Cooler than you?
Oh, yeah. Always has been. Yeah, from Jump Street. And that's, that's not hard, Tommy. I mean, you've known me for a minute. That's not a tall order, but, that was a cold shot, Ty. Yeah. Man, you took that like a chick up. That was tough.
I need it.
He didn't even go down to the mat. I figured that one would put him on the mat.
No.
He didn't even wobble.
I'm going to be honest.
That boy can take a lick like nobody I ever saw, man.
Persistent. So, but what's I'm gonna go see David in a little bit. Y'all's dealership up here in Northwest Arkansas is right next to our radio stations. It's the perfect spot, just like the one in Fort Smith, man.
Absolutely, Rath Mitsubishi up there in Springdale corner, Don Tyson and 71B. It's easy to get to from anywhere. And just a terrific lineup of new Mitsubishis, particularly the Outlander. If you haven't seen that, folks, and I know it's not on everybody's radar, but I'm telling you, this is a great-looking car, totally redesigned, beautiful interior. It kind of holds up to some of the luxury brands, thousands and thousands of dollars less expensive, and big incentives right now, too, on those cars, incentives up to $4,000, rates as low as 0%. We can make it so easy for you. So before you go out and pay too much for a competitive make, at least come in and check out this Mitsubishi lineup, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. You're really not going to beat it. And David's got a good bunch of guys in there. They know how to take care of you, and they'd love a chance to earn your business. Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. This is also the very last day of our sales tax paid when you trade on our road-ready certified used inventory up there at both locations. That's been a great promotion. I mean, people saving hundreds and even thousands of dollars, getting their state sales tax paid when they trade, and getting the best used car your money can buy, a road-ready certified car with warranty. And, it takes all the risk out of buying a used car. Right now, save a little money when you do that, get your state sales tax paid. The last day, it actually stops tonight. We'd love to see you folks call, click, come by. Let us get you driving better today in a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle from Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith or Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. So it's going to be a big weekend. We hope you'll all come and see us or check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, enjoy the weekend, the last day of the month, and we'll call you up next week.
All right, you guys have a good one, and come see us.
I'm excited to see Larry later on this morning. Chuck it, tough love, guys. Tommy, tough love. It's good for you every once in a while. And evidently, it was good for Andy Sawyers, SEMO's head coach. He talked about a Dave Van Horn story back in the day. It's a little longer than usual, but it's worth your time.
My relationship with him is like any former player-coach relationship where the player has a ton of respect for the coach. I mean, he changed my life. He changed my career. Our story is pretty interesting. He and Rob Childress arrived at Christmas break at Nebraska my senior year. Coach Van Horn rode me like a rented mule, was hard on me. I was the senior starting catcher, played every day the year before. I was kind of a catch-and-throw defender type guy, and Coach Van Horn preferred offensive catchers at that time in his career. And I lost my starting job, and I felt like he was trying to make an example of me every day in practice. He was very hard on me. He was a little more demonstrative when he was younger, I'll say that. At the end of the year, I walked in for my meeting, and he said, "Andy, I was harder on you than you deserved, but I knew you were tough enough to take it. I'm trying to change the culture, and I needed to have somebody who could wear it for me, and you were that guy." So I was like, "Oh, thanks." But he said, "I know you want to go coaching. I've got a job lined up for you." He already had a job lined up for me. I went down to Northwestern State. He'd already got it set up. I got to teach classes in the P department, got to be the volunteer for John Cohen, who's now the AD at Auburn. He did all of that without my knowing it. Wow, he was making an example of me to the team, like riding me hard. And I have the utmost of respect for Coach Van Horn. The team that he inherited my senior year, we had 4 guys living in a house. 3 of those 4 are Division I head coaches. That's pretty amazing. His coaching tree is long, it's extensive, and all of us, I know, credit, a good chunk of our career to having played and worked for him. So have a ton of respect for him. I'd be happy to be at Mississippi State, even though I don't like those guys very much, right? Just kidding. But we're happy to be in this situation. It's special for me to get to compete against my former coach, I'll say that.
I got to be honest, I liked a lot and enjoy listening to Dave Van Horn speak and the players too. But that to me was the best soundbite that came from yesterday. I just thought it was an interesting peek behind the curtain that he fully kind of let us in, guys.
Well, there's always a method to the madness. That is one thing I've discovered over the years from observing a lot of head coaches in a lot of sports. Sometimes the things they say initially may not make a lot of sense. Sometimes their strategies and the way they deal with people may not make a lot of sense. But there's generally a method to the madness. And obviously Dave had a method and a reason for what he did, and now 25 years later we see it.
Sometimes in the midst of it, as a younger guy or gal, you don't realize what the older person is doing, but oftentimes they have your best interest at heart, which
except when they say this is going to hurt me worse than it's going to hurt you. I was told that as a child, and that was a damn lie.
All right, more of the Morning Rush, live at the Stadium Shop. When we return, we'll get to your SEC update.
Cal Era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hudson Clark with his 5th career interception.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news about our first ever trade-in acquisition event. We need your trade, so now through Memorial Day, get your state sales tax paid when you trade for any one of our road-ready certified vehicles. That's right, state sales tax paid when you trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Hey, Wes.
Billy, P is for horses.
I have an idea to bring in more customers.
What you got?
We yell on the radio, woo, pig suey.
We're going to call the hogs?
Yeah, we call them all in. Woo, pig suey. Come get your pizza at Jim's Razorback Pizza.
I'd rather not.
Don't you love the hogs?
Of course, but we can't call our customers hogs.
But they're hog fans, and our name is Jim's Razorback Pizza.
Billy, I love your enthusiasm. Look it, if you think we should do it, then let's do it.
Woo! Pig suey!
What about moo instead of woo? We use Wisconsin cheese.
Really? You and them dang cows. Woo! Pig suey!
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
The Old Fort Days is underway, and you can go in style with the all-new official Old Fort Days merchandise. Available now at the main gate at Harper Stadium or at Jelco Outdoors. Caps, t-shirts, hat stickers, drinkware, and more for the family. Support your local Old Fort Days rodeo. Go in style with new apparel. Old Fort Days official merchandise. Wear the brand. Get your official Old Fort Days merchandise outside Harper Stadium or at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
You know, one of the things we haven't talked about yet that's coming out of the SEC spring meetings is the possibility of logos on the field of jerseys. Sponsorship logos, I should be more specific. Florida Athletics Director Scott Strickland was talking about this with Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports, saying that's a revenue stream they haven't necessarily had in the past. So we're going to see like a J.B. Hunt or a Walmart or a Tyson logo on Frank Broyles Field soon. I mean, that sounds like it's
I think everything's under consideration. When you're facing $22 million out of your revenue being reallocated for profit sharing, everything's got to be considered.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to solve it with one fell swoop of someone writing you a $20 million check. But I can just tell you, tickets are getting ready to go up. Your basketball ticket, you can just bank on it. I bet you it's at least $100 this year your basketball tickets go up.
Yes, and people still pay it because of
Well,
Cal.
but this is what goes along with it.
Yeah.
Football tickets, they need, when I say they, I'm talking Hunter Yurchek and everyone in his, they need Razorback football to do well this year because they need to be able to go up on tickets.
I got a kick. It's funny you bring that up because I got a
It's
kick.
an important year for a lot of reasons.
I got a kick out of listening to Coleman Hawkins, who Illinois player, entered the transfer portal, elected not to pursue his dream at the NBA right now, still wanting to do that long term. And he said, I want to go somewhere where I can watch a good football game. So I was cracking up at that because I'm wondering, well, I hope Arkansas is good this year. So Coleman ends up coming to school at Arkansas, but he's got other factors that he's going to have to account for. Does that mean neutral site games are going to die? Even the Chick-fil-A kickoff and some of the other big-time games
because they're getting big-time checks to go play in those games.
I just didn't know from a home standpoint, the losing 75 to 100,000 fans.
It's real simple. These kickoff classics will have to pay enough to entice them. The only reason they do them now is because financially it's not a setback.
Mm-hmm.
So no, they'll, as long as they're not a setback financially, they'll continue to play them.
All right, other news: Arkansas playing. It looks like the Michigan Wolverines this December in the Jimmy V Classic, according to John Rothstein. That's a report out there, along with Miami and Tennessee. You played Michigan, actually, in the NIT back in 1997. You beat them in 95 when the Chris Webberless Fab Four, I guess, ran into, I think, the Elite Eight, if I remember that timeline right. Other news, Jackson Robinson was pulled out of the NBA draft going to Kentucky. That's a big get for Mark Pope. Chris Bucknam, congratulations for winning the SEC Outdoor Coach of the Year. His 32nd SEC Coach of the Year overall award. Unbelievable. And then some SEC games football-wise have been announced, including Arkansas and UAB, which is a 3:15 SEC Network game. We know the first game's at 6:30 on ESPNU on a Thursday night, and then you also have the 11 a.m. ABC, not Fox. ABC screwed that up yesterday. Game against Oklahoma State. The intriguing part of this is you might be playing Saturday around Thanksgiving instead of Friday because Ole Miss and Mississippi State are moving to that Friday slot at 2:30.
Yeah, and I was reading through the release on that. Arkansas's first ABC appearance since 2014 when they played Texas Tech. You hope there's a lot more of them coming under the new television agreement because that's going to be the marquee place. So, get used to some different time slots. I'm with you. I like the first three. 11 a.m.'s not, but listen, if you're going to play an 11 a.m. game, let it be on the road.
Yeah, against a quality opponent that often does not start out strong and under Mike Gundy, finishes strong but doesn't start out strong. So I think, again, paired with the 3:15, you aren't going to get like a night game for UAB. So I think it's not bad. All right, last thing here. So Dave Van Horn, I mentioned the Andy Sawyer's clip, but we brought that up last segment, who is SEMO's coach. If you missed it, it's a really good clip. You can find it on Pig Trail Nation. The other thing that stood out to me in the coaches' conversation yesterday was what Dave had to say just kind of overall and then coming a long way and a funny interaction, I guess, with a fan at a grocery store.
When we first went to a regional in my first year here in 03, 04, it was pretty celebrated that we were just making a regional. Now, you don't go to Omaha, you run into people in the town kind of come up to you in the summer, man, you didn't have a very good year, did you? I had that happen to me last year. And I said, well, did you know we won the SEC? And their comment was, you did? So it's kind of interesting. Our program's come a long way, a lot of expectation. I just I smile when I think about it. I hate sometimes that the players feel so much pressure, and I don't want them to feel the pressure. I just want them to play because they don't want to let anybody down.
There's more pressure in the last 6 or 7 years than there was in Dave's first 13 years here, I guess, at the helm. That's changed because of his success. I did find that he used the term nutty. Like he said, our fan base can sometimes get a little nutty around postseason, which he's right. I mean, there is, I think, a certain level of expectations from you as a listener, whether it's right or wrong. I think we've shifted with the way that Arkansas's had success. I'm looking at this banner right now that has the NCAA tournament appearances, the College World Series appearances, and just everything Arkansas has done in postseason play. So we'll see how this weekend goes, but that is kind of a funny interaction Dave had last year.
You built this monster, and now you got to feed it. So, I mean, that goes along with it in many walks of life. We talk about it often in sports, but, you build a business and you have team members you built and employees you've got on board. You got to keep feeding it, and that's where it's at. And postseason's always going to get the spotlight. And you can win a regular season SEC championship, and unless you're a hardcore fan, you probably don't notice near enough. And that's one reason, you guys got into a debate a couple weeks ago about the Western Division title and what it meant. And, unfortunately, that's an example of a fan that, doesn't pay enough attention or give enough credit to what a division title even means.
Just to be clear, that was not me that had that conversation.
Oh, wasn't you?
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't you?
Okay. That might insinuate it was. That was not me that had that conversation with Dave. I very much did know that.
Oh, you mean with Dave? Okay.
Yeah.
I meant the one you had on the air.
Oh, that very much happened.
Okay.
So it's just a fun little segment. But that's your SEC update this morning, brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
All right, Burton Pools and Spas, they're in Springdale, they're in Fort Smith, and they're now in Greenland. Stop in any of the 3 locations and find out about Doughboy Above Ground Pools. They're on sale right now. Discounts up to $1,500 and payments as low as $75 a month. They also have Doughboy semi-in-ground pools, payments under $200 a month, and you get a free robotic cleaner as well. There is time to swim this summer in your own backyard. Burton Pools and Spas are the experts. Again, now in Greenland with the newest showroom, Fort Smith, and in Springdale, and online at burtonpools.com.
As we wrap up this show here, Robert's going to join us in just a bit. I want to go back to an announcement that was made yesterday. Alan Jackson Coming to Fayetteville, September the 28th, is the weekend of the A&M game. Tickets are going to go on sale next Friday to the general public. They're going to be on pre-sale for Arkansas students, Razorback Foundation members, and faculty coming up on Tuesday at 9 a.m. He's been on tour for more than 30 years. It's Chattahoochee that you're hearing this morning. This is the guy that's won the CMA Entertainer of the Year. He's got numerous number ones.
Yep. He's big time.
Yeah, it's a big. It's someone that you want to see, and I'm not going to be able to see him, but you might be able to.
It's on a Friday, isn't it?
I think it's 28th. I thought it was Saturday.
Is that a Saturday? I don't know. But, I mean, I might. I mean, I like Alan Jackson. It's not a move of heavens and earth.
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Yep.
So, that would be a show that appeals to me. And Alan Jackson, he announced, I don't remember exactly, what the condition was, but he did announce he's got
Chronic something.
Yeah, thank you for clearing that up. But his time on tour, is probably very limited. And, we lost Toby Keith, earlier this year. And Alan Jackson's kind of that same era and one of the guys that defined country music along with Garth and George Strait over the last 30 years.
You going to go see him, Robert, as we welcome you back in for the final segment?
No, bring me Cheap Trick or Joe Bonamassa or somebody like that.
I heard he sucks.
No, he doesn't.
No, okay.
That's somebody who has no taste in music would think he sucks.
Well, there's a lot more things he doesn't have taste in. A whole lot more.
Cars?
I won't go that far, but he's got a decent car. But you got a lot of stuff. Whether you got good taste or bad, there's probably something for you in here. I think everything's very tasteful in here. But that's one of the things that someone that was in retail told me long ago. You can't just buy the things you like.
You
got to buy, like a third of the things you like, a third of the things you love, and a third of the things you hate when you fill a store. You got something for everyone.
It doesn't matter what I like.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Nobody cares about what I like. What matters is what the customer that walks through the door likes. And we pay attention to them. We listen to them. We listen to requests. We take requests.
Oh, well. The request line is open.
479 Stadium.
I think, because I was telling you a couple years back that how much I like the sweater hog, and then you got these hats and these other, like these champions.
Well, it kind of rolls. There for a while, Slobber Hog that was on, which isn't the real Slobber Hog, but we'll have that discussion some other time. The old basketball court hog is referred to as a Slobber Hog now. That was huge for a short period of time there. And it's still popular. But, Ribby right now.
Ribby in baseball season. Like you were saying earlier, baseball fans want baseball-specific gear. They don't want just Razorback gear.
Gray, red. There's probably white somewhere in these regional shirts. I don't know.
No, I didn't do a white. I did the gray and the red.
All right, gray and red available. It's got the couple different varieties of the regional logo. Even if you're listening this morning, you're a Kansas State or La Tech fan or SEMO fan, you've got shirts with those logos and the Fayetteville Regional on it. So different styles to choose from as far as the artwork.
And we will have super regional should Arkansas be fortunate. And the artwork that I told you about I had to go approve, it's another Omaha's for actual Omaha. I'm already working on stuff for Omaha, guys.
Working ahead of time. Well,
and they got to make it, or the kids in Haiti are going to get a bunch of 2024 Omaha's shirts. So
they'll be fortunate to get that. What are you talking about?
So we need that to work out. If you're coming to the regional this weekend, allow a few minutes or in between games. If there happens to be a delay, the stadium shop is, literally like a 3-minute walk from the gate.
We'll be open for parking. We'll be parking cars out here. I got a guy out there right now. We've already parked a couple. But we will get you in the store. If you want in the store, we will get you in the store. Don't worry about the parking lot. Just come on in. We'll figure out a way to get you in. So.
Yeah, and we've had a number of people through this morning getting the T-shirts we've been talking about, getting game day ready. So.
Even if you need a beer hat, bring the beer hat and scare SEMO with it.
Well, you said you had about 100 of those?
I got a little over 100 of them.
A little over 100.
And
so
the boppers for the girls. And
so if you don't have the beer hat for when the bases get loaded, this is the place to get it. So.
We gave you a warning. It's here. Come and get it. If you don't have a beer hat, that's on you.
All right, Stadium Shop next door to Baum Walker Stadium. Thanks for having us out this morning.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Hopefully
early this morning.
Can do it again for an Omaha trip. All of our coverage of the Fayetteville Regional, presented by Mock Legal Solutions, Arvest Bank, and Camping World. It's time to get ready for baseball, Ty.
Yep, get ready. 2 o'clock today, right here on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations. HitThatLine.com and a brand new Hit That Line Now app. For Tommy Kraft and Chuck Barrett, and I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy your weekend at the Fayetteville Regional.
Vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion.